Now we'll be creating the login page. Now to create a page, let us create one view named as login. So login.blade.php. This view will be extending members. So not members, extending your master layout. So extends layouts.master, and let us add the title for this. So section, under title let it be login page. Okay, and let us now create a corresponding route for this login. So route get name of route is login, and we use the function, and we'll just return this view. Return view, name of view is login. All right, let's start the server by using php artisan serve. Php artisan serve, and let's open this server. Okay, so here we have the service running, and let's go into this login. Okay, it's working. Along the title we are having a login page. Okay, now what we'll do, we'll create this login page. We'll try to have the same interface that we had for your registration page. In the previous video we have looked up on how to create the registration page. So just let me open that registration view or registration form, register. Okay, so this is how our login page is going to be. Instead of like in registration page, it will be the login page, and we'll be using only two fields, that is email ID and password, because the table which we are using, the internal table users, over there the primary key is email ID. Okay, so the credentials what we will be checking will be only email ID and password. So now let us create this login page. So we'll go directly in the login.blade, and under the section container, okay, end section, let's add that form. Let us say ID is my form. Action, let it be right now blank, and target you can have underscore blank. So when that action gets fired, it gets open in the new tab, and method, let it be post. Now as we are using post method, we'll use CSRF token, and let's have the table first. Table, let's change the style of the table. So class table, let it be bordered. Table, let it be responsive, and let it be table small SL. Okay, and on the very first row we'll display this login page. Okay, call span, let it be 2, and we'll use h1 header, and over here we'll add a login page. Okay, just let's have a look over this page, how it's working. Okay, looking good. Now we'll add 2 more rows. In the first row we'll tell the user to enter email ID, and the second row we'll tell the user to enter password, and then the last row we'll have one button called submit. Okay, so tr and td over here will tell the user to enter email ID. Okay, and td, your input will be of type email. Alright, name I'll keep as same, email. ID, even if I don't write, okay, size is 40. Now next row, td will tell the user to enter password. Enter password, and td input is of type password. Name I keep the same, password. Even ID keep the same as password, and finally the size, let it be 40. Alright, and at the end we'll have one button, td, let's say call span 2, and that button will be of type submit. Input submit, Okay, value, let it be login. We can have one class because it's a type button, class btn primary. So now let's check over here. Yes, so this is a login page. Now what will happen the moment we press we provide some entries in this field, that's email id and password, and the moment we click on login, so what will happen, this credential should be handled, and these credentials will be handled in your controller class. The controller which we have created is members. In that we had only one function, that is the register function. So what we will do, along with the register function, we'll create another function. Let's consider name of that function is login. Okay, to that it will be receiving one parameter of type request. Okay, and first what we'll do, we'll just display check whether the parameters are getting properly handled. So we'll just display it by using dd request all, and that's it. Okay, but we need to have the corresponding route. This route will must or this function will be called based on the post method. So we require corresponding post route for the same login. So that is route post for the same login, but here we won't be using a function, but we'll be using what to say a controller, and the function which is a class, and the function which we'll be using is login. Okay, and let's have one route name for this as login. That's it. Okay, now let's check over here. I write admin. Okay, let me refresh. Okay, admin@gmail.com, and password is dummy, whatever it may be, and here it is. So username, that is email id, and password is getting transferred to this function called logged in. Now we'll go the authentication part. Now for authentication part, you can use auth attempt. Okay, but before doing that, we must store these credentials. Okay, so what we'll do, credentials, we are getting this credential from request parameter, and from request parameter we are selecting only two fields. One is email and second one is password. Okay, so this name, email and password, these are nothing but the name of your these components. Okay, name, email and name, password. So whatever the name you give over here, same should be as this. Then we will validate by using auth attempt and then credentials. So if auth attempt auth attempting credentials. Okay, that means it will check whether username and password, that is email id and password, matches in the table users. If yes, then we should get redirected to some another page. Let's consider, then in that case, let's consider the name of that page is a landing page, which may be our dashboard. So what we'll do, we'll simply return redirect to the page called landing. Okay, route, I say, okay, wait, route and landing. Okay, so this landing, it may be your dashboard or it may be any other page. I'm just given the name as landing, so we'll create the route for that. Else, that means user and password do not match, then we should display some message such as invalid user id and password. So for that, we will again return redirect That means we are returning to same page. Return redirect to the same page. Same page is for that we have used route as login, but we will return with error. Return with error, and message for that error is invalid username, oh not username, invalid email ID or password. Alright, so now let's run this. Okay, before doing that we need to create this route for landing. So what we are saying, if username and password, that is email ID and password, matches, then we should get redirected to some new page. Okay, so for the new page, what I do in this layout, I create in this views I create another view called landing.blade.php, and here I just write down hello. Okay, now this should get displayed. For that we have written name of route as landing. Alright, so in web.php create the route. For that route, it will be of type get. Let's consider we are using landing with a function which is gonna to return only view. Return view. Let's consider name of view is landing, and however we have used over here route. Okay, along members we have used route, so we need to provide the name of this route. Name of this route, let it be landing. Okay, now let's check over here. If you remember in the while we are creating registration page, we have created two users. One admin with email ID admin@gmail.com and password 123456, and second user as Raj with email ID raj@gmail.com and password 123456. So what I do, I'll first log in with the actual credentials, so that we get rerouted to that, not rerouted, redirected to the landing page. Okay, so let's check. Yes, so even if I do with raj@gmail.com and if I provide the password as 123456, I am getting redirected to that page. Okay, but if I am providing invalid user ID and password, so I'm getting redirected to login page, because that's what we have done over here in members page. We are saying if it's proper, then we are landing to our dashboard or nothing but the landing page, else we are getting redirected to login page. But this error message should have been displayed. Now to display that error message, we'll go back to login page. Okay, and just before, either after the section, that is before form ID, or you can just write before section, we can handle this. So what do we do? I write it after section, that is if section is error, okay, then end if section is error, then you display the session is what of error. What's that error? Invalid user ID or password. So let's check over here, admin@gmail.com, and I put invalid, so displaying. But again, instead of displaying like this, what we can do, we can take one div component, and it's better we display this in a div component and making little bit some of alert type. Okay, so what we'll do, in session, if after if we'll create the div, and let us say class alert and alert danger. Within that we'll display this session. Okay, so now let's do it once again. So in the login page I provide okay, in login page I provide proper email ID but invalid password, admin@ gmail.com, and let's password be any dummy. So here invalid email ID or password. But if I give the proper email ID and password 12356, and then I'm getting redirected to our dashboard, or it may be a landing page. So that's it. This is how we create the registration form and the login form, and we go for the validation while logging in. Alright, so for login purpose we use auth.atom. You may get an error wherein it may say that auth is not found, or something invalid or not declared. So in that case, what you can do, you can either use directly illuminate.auth, or you can use illuminate support packets and auth. This helps in basically validation purpose, okay, where we are using auth.attempt. Alright, so that's it. So in the case you like the video, kindly hit like and subscribe. Thank you.